Hello and welcome to Long Island Weather Update and Outlook. It's 9:30 on July the 21st. Pretty hazy day, but before I get started, I just want to make an announcement that's important, and that is that I'm cutting back the weather updates to 3 times a week. So I'm not doing them every day. I just can't anymore for various reasons. So 3 times a week, and if there is something going on, unusual weather, heat wave, storms, then I'll do it more often. But right now, that's the most I can do it. So, yes, we had a very hazy day today, and yesterday was hazy too. This is what the sun looked like going down. Really, this is all from wildfire smoke. So I told you this was going to happen. Nobody else was talking about it, but you can see, look at the sun going down here. I mean, look at that. That's just, I mean, you have some cirrus, but a lot of that's from the smoke. And you can see the smoke here on the satellite image here. You can see the smoke clearly. Going into our area here, you can see a couple of waves of it moving over Mount Washington and some of our other areas. We had some pop-up cumulus clouds as well, a few pop-up showers over Jersey. And yesterday was kind of hazy and not all that nice. You can see, look at all the smoke that we have emanating from the Northwest Territories, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. It's moving down into the upper Midwest, and we're getting a piece of it as well. So that's why we're seeing all that haze around that we saw today. Not a very nice-looking sky like we had on Friday, which still had a little bit of haze in it, but it was much worse this weekend, obviously. So let's go take a look at what our current conditions are outside. We'll first start with our satellite here, and you'll clearly see that smoke. There it is. Look at that. I'll pause it for you. Yep, there you go. You can clearly see that smoke over us. It's mostly at higher levels, not at the surface, but it's making for a pretty, crappy-looking sky between that and the jet junk that we have out there. Not very nice at all. So let's go to our current conditions outside right now. Of course, you see all the heat and red flag warnings out west. So right now, we've got temperatures that are generally 73. 78, I guess there. 78 in Carl Place, which is the temperature of my alley. 73 at Farmingdale. Dew points up to 70, so the humidity definitely on its way up. You can feel it tonight a little bit, though it really wasn't that bad on the South Shore. It's pretty pleasant. Same for last night, but today was definitely warmer. We got into the mid-80s today. The dew points were a little more comfortable earlier on. Now they're coming up a little bit. I'm not going to go over yesterday. I'm not going to go over every single day unless it's unusual weather. I'm not going to go over the highs and the lows every single day, We'll briefly go over it here. So, Islip got up to 86 today, low of 71, 3 degrees above normal. Central Park made it to 88, and the low of 73, 3 degrees above normal. And I have a feeling when we go look at Jersey on this map, it's going to be a lot hotter. I'm sure now. They did have, again, looks like, a flash flood warning in here for northeast of Philadelphia. And there's been some showers and thunderstorms in that area, too. So first we'll go to the highs and the lows today. Highs across Long Island, mid-80s. Jersey, mid to upper 80s. No 90s. Those showers help keep the temperatures down. Lows, really nothing to write home about. Let's go look at precipitation and see how much rain fell in that area here. So this is where the shower activity was, and let's see if they actually got any in Toms River or not. Very little. You have to go to the southwest, but if you went toward Bass River State Forest, it 0.66. So a little bit more over there, a little bit more rain, and then this is where they have the flash flood warning. You can see over an inch. Actually, this is in New Jersey. In the looks like, is that the Trenton? And that's not Trenton. That's Cherry Hill, that general area there. They've had a number of showers and thunderstorms. So let's go look at the radar. And you'll see what's been going on here. Go to the other radar. So you can see we've had showers, and they're very slow moving, heat of the day type of deals. Very slow moving. Let me go to the AccuWeather radar here. I'll use the AccuWeather radar. This will be better. So you can see they're very slow-moving storms, and nothing severe. It's just rain mainly that these have produced, and there were some earlier. If we look at the radar rewind, if we rewind the radar here and go look earlier around 4 o'clock, you could see that there were some showers. Actually, 3 o'clock, 2:30, you could see a pretty decent shower. Maybe there was some thunder with it southwest of Toms River in Ocean County. So this is just developing from the heat of the day. With this front kind of washed out over us, you could see showers kind of went over the same areas. But speaking of fronts, let's look at the weather map here. And you'll see here that we have this front that's kind of up to the north. That's going to stay there. It's stalled out, and it's going to retreat. Then we have another stalled front that's over North Carolina, and this will also start making its way to the north, bringing rain chances back into the forecast. So if we look at day 2, day 3, you see that starts lifting northward as the high pressure, the Atlantic Ridge, Bermuda High starts taking over. So let's go look at the excessive rain outlook and see if we're in any excessive rain risk. We do have a marginal risk of excessive rain on Wednesday and possibly Thursday too. It looks like it has us going all the way out to day 5, believe it or not. So because of the stall front that we're going to have, that's going to be over us. If we look at the QPF here, you'll see days 1 through 7. You can see a lot of rain off to our south. They seem to think that's where the stall front is, but we'll still see between 1 and 2 inches of rain, which we could use because it's been kind of dry, especially in parts of New York and Long Island. New Jersey's been doing a little bit better with the shower and thunderstorm activity than we have, particularly out in Suffolk County. Not a surprise there at all. When it comes to severe weather, we'll go to the Storm Prediction Center now. Not too much going on right now. Day 1, day 2, not too much going on. Day 3, yeah, it's not really showing much of any severe weather at all. Oh, wait a minute, it's not changing. It doesn't really have just a general thunderstorm risk for much of the country, and it's unusual to see that so much of the country covered in green. But just a general thunderstorm risk that we have, nothing really severe. Now, if we look at the fire weather risk, you could see where the fire risks are. And that's Northern California, Northern Nevada, into Oregon and Washington State is where we're going to see those risks for for fires. All right. And so when you look at the map, that's showing the weather and hazards map. We'll go to that right now and pull this out, and we'll show you what we have going on across the country. So you can see, again, we've got the excessive heat, or these excessive heat warnings that have been in effect for almost weeks already for parts of California, and then we have excessive heat air quality alerts, red flag warnings, excessive heat warnings from Washington. Still very hot over there. You can see, look at that. Wow, it's 106 at Lewiston right now. That's insane. It hit 110 there. I wonder if that's an all-time record. That's crazy. We're talking about Washington State here. That's pretty crazy right there. So, and I'm also going to change, though. We're not going to call it Long Island Weather Update. We're just going to call it Weather Update, because we do talk about other things other than Long Island. But you can see Lewiston there, 110. I'm kind of curious if that's an all-time high. Let's go to Lewiston, Washington. I'm curious. Am I spelling it wrong? Go back to the thing here. Probably spelling it wrong. Let's see. No, it's Lewiston. Nez Perce County Airport. Lewiston. All right. It's probably like out of Spokane, probably. So, we'll do this because I'm not seeing it here. Look at this. It's 104 there right now. I mean, that's insane. Let's see if they broke any records today. And you can see smoke is being reported at some of these stations, too, as well, because they got wildfires in there. But let's see if they broke any records. Of course they don't mention it. Well, It had to have been a record for the day. Let's see if they talk about any records here. Oh, it's Lewiston, Idaho. My mistake. It's not Washington. It's Idaho. All right. Let's see. Let's see if they broke a record today. Today was the 21st. No, they did not. Believe it or not, they've been as high as 113. Isn't that a record? Didn't they get up to like 116 or something? Go back. What was their high today? 110. So I didn't quite make it to the record. Man, that's just some unbelievable heat there. You know, I'm sure there's some records in there somewhere, but again, they're going to make you hunt for them. So yeah, Idaho. I couldn't see because of that heavy shading there, but if we go look at the highs, you'll see here extremely hot conditions here. 110. I mean, you could see it's almost worse in the northwest than it is further south, which is crazy. And this heat, of course, extends up into Canada. 108 at Kamloops for a high. Man, 108. Right now it's 95 degrees. I mean, that's insane. Look at these high temperatures. Really, really hot weather. And then you're going to be dealing with the smoke. And you can see haze being reported at a lot of these sites like Edmonton. You're going to have haze being reported there. Smoke. You've got to find the one that's the airport. Because a lot of these aren't. If they're not airports, then they're not going to display the visibility. Just want an airport. Here we go. Edmonton, and they're saying 10-mile visibility, but I'm sure they've had some periods of smoke over there as well. Yeah, look at how the visibility's gone down as low as 2 miles. So they've had some pretty bad air quality there. It's really, really bad air quality, I might add. So yeah, that's not a surprise with all these fires going up there. Yeah, it's something. Cool up there. 68 in Hay River. 8-mile visibility. I'm sure they've had a lot of smoke. When you have really thick smoke, it tends to obscure the sun and keep the temperatures down. Fire weather watch as well for parts of Montana. So Montana, if you're dealing with wildfires next. So yeah, it's crazy what's going on with these fires. Let's talk about it some more. Let's look at some more satellite images because nobody else is. Wow, look at all that smoke. Look at that. There's a lot of smoke. Look at that. Yeah, over Montana, North Dakota. You can see it all drifting down there. So actually, I want to go back to the weather and hazards map. And let's take a look at some observations from that area. As I have filmed, they should be reporting smoke now. Let's see. Bismarck, 7-mile visibility. So visibility has dropped at Bismarck. Let's see if they're actually using the phrase smoke, but they're not. I'm sure that people might be smelling it there. Haze being reported. Yeah, so I'm surprised there are no air quality alerts in effect for that area. I really am. But we do have a climate denial disease that is spreading rampant across this country, so it's not a surprise that people don't want to talk about it. Let's look at Montana. Let's see if we can get some more observations here. Wolf Point, Clay Airport, they're reporting 10-mile visibility. A lot of it's probably aloft, but I'm sure it's super hazy over there. The sky looks absolutely ridiculously hazy, I'm sure. So let's look at a few more. Actually, can go to the upper Midwest, too, and look at these two. Upper Mississippi Valley. Wow, look at that. I'm going to make this a little bit longer. Look at that. Look at all that smoke coming down. Wow, that's a lot of smoke. So, yeah, that's a look at how far south it's getting, too. So look at all the smoke that we have around. And if we do Northern Rockies, there'll be another look. This shows it even better. Look at this. That's a lot of smoke right there. That's a little. Looks like it's pouring down into. It's actually pouring down into perhaps Denver and stuff. I'm gonna have to check Denver as well and see if they're reporting smoke. And then we have all these fires going on right here. It looks like this is Idaho. I mean, look at all these fires. This is crazy. So let's go to the West Coast. Yep, you can see right here. Look at all these fires here going in Oregon, Northern California, Washington. But there's a whole pall, P-L-L-L, I think is how you spell it, of smoke So that's going down along the east side of the Rockies. So that's quite a lot of smoke right there. I'm gonna want to look at Denver. Let's see if I can find Denver here. There is one severe thunderstorm warning in effect and some pretty strong winds at Albuquerque right now. I gotta find Denver. There's Denver. Let's see if Denver is reporting for us. I gotta find the airport because we're looking for visibility. 8-mile visibility with thunder. Okay, so there are some thunderstorms. We've kicked up off of that area. Yeah, you can see there's been some reductions in visibility, and that could be due to smoke. I'm thinking. There are a couple. That's Erie, though. It's not the main airport in Denver. So let's find the main airport in Denver. It's not the main airport. I don't know what the main airport is in Denver. I do apologize, but I don't know Denver that well, so. Yeah, we'll use this one here and see if they're reporting any smoke. No, but they may get some smoke up there. They very well may. They may get some smoke. Maybe some reduced visibility up there. So, just kind of curious about this whole thing. So, let's go back to the AccuWeather radar. We'll see, because we see that there was some thunderstorm activity in this area here. And then we'll go to our outlook for the week here. You can see there's some scattered thunderstorm activity here, some scattered thunderstorm over Nebraska. Yeah, New Mexico's pretty active. Flagstaff, a few storms around there too. It's like I said, some of these have warnings out, but that's the only area that's really got any thunderstorm action for the most part. And you got some showers over here, but there's nothing really severe in that area. Nothing really too intense or impressive, in my opinion. So let's go and look at some more satellite imagery before let's go to the Canada, northern U.S., because this will really show the smoke pretty well. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's something. You can see all that smoke. Here it is. So I'll draw it out for you. Yeah, we could use like a light brown, I guess. It's fine. Draw it out. See all that smoke right here. It's all over here. So all that smoke, and then another little piece of it going over us as well. So yeah, all this smoke here that's coming down. All right, so that's why we're going to see hazy skies probably this week, at least, depending on. Well, we're going to look at the models and we're going to see all that. But a lot of parts of the country are going to see hazy skies because of that. And we'll just take one more look at the southeastern Alaska satellite. These fires are still going. Yeah, look at that. You actually see, if you look closely, possibly pyrocumulus or pyrocumulonimbus. Since these fires are so big, they create their own thunderstorms, which create more lightning and more. You know, speaking of that, we don't have the GLM flash intensity on this one. That's right. Maybe we have it on Canada, northern U.S. We have it on Canada, northern U.S. So let's take a look. Yeah. All right. There's some lightning here. So some of these fires can spawn lightning, and that can create more fires. So whatever. Let's we're done with the smoke. I'm talking a lot about it because nobody else does. So let's go to the models now, and we will go and look at the North American view here. And first start with the 250, the Jetstream, of course, which is a real mess. So this is the GFS. I'm sticking with the GFS. You can see that Atlantic Ridge kind of building back as we go through the week. A little push of drier air, but Atlantic Ridge generally wins out. You can see there are a few pushes of drier air here and there, but then as we get toward August, we start seeing a very big ridge again. In fact, the Jetstream's pushed way up into Canada. So that means the heat and the dryness, especially in Western Canada, looking at this jet stream, will continue. Let's go to the upper air. And here's the upper air. So here we go, and this week you'll see that ridge starts to build. We're kind of on a boundary here, which is why we're dealing with stall front syndrome. But then as we get later on in the forecast period, it's showing a little bit of a trough there. but it's really very weak, and generally just a big ridge right there showing a big ridge. I can go to the 12Z and see if there's any difference in these runs, but I'm leaning toward a ridge there. Nothing's really going to change. There doesn't seem to be much of a change here in this overall pattern that we have. And if we go look at our temperature anomaly chart here, which will probably match up with what we're seeing here, you'll see that as we go into this week, it won't really be all that warm. But you'll see a lot of heat out west in Canada. A little bit of cooling toward the end of the week, maybe. But that may just be due to the stall front, and you can see the above normal temperatures build as we get toward the end of the period here. I'm looking at the 12Z run. But you can definitely see some above normal temperatures. Model was a little worse with it on the runs yesterday, so but generally is showing above normal temperatures for a good part of us. And we can also look at the European model, which I don't really like looking at because of its. You can look at the AI European and see if we see any differences here as far as temperatures go. The AI builds the heat. You can see the heat. But most areas are definitely above normal, and that's a big problem. Going back to GFS here, we will go and take this back to the CONUS view here and look at this. So this will kind of tell us where the moisture is at this point. So you'll see that this week we're going to have some moisture coming in. Here we have some moisture coming in tomorrow night. We got the stalled front, which is going to sort of act like a river for moisture, which is going to give us shower chances. We finally pushed it to the south on Friday. And then another wave of moisture comes. But one thing you'll notice is that very little moisture is getting out west. So it's going to stay dry there. That's the problem that we have. If we look at the total accumulated precip here, yeah, there's not a whole lot going on out west. It's mostly over the southeast and the Gulf, the northwest, not really seeing much. If I take this regions to North America, maybe some areas of where those fires are burning could see some precipitation, but it would be of the scattered nature, and who knows what's going to happen with those fires. The conditions don't really look all that favorable, especially with a big ridge in place and temperatures remaining above normal in that area. Not a good situation at all for that. So let's look at the surface. Yeah, we'll use this one. Actually, no, I prefer the other one. Let's use this one. All right. So here's the surface. And you see there's that the ridge offshore. So we're going to be dealing with stall front syndrome this week. We try to push that front off to the south on Friday and the weekend. So hopefully the weekend will be okay. And then the high gets into that ridge position as we start seeing things heat up a little more, I think, as we get into August. And you start seeing maybe some highs try to build down. But again, there's not really any big pushes of cool, dry air at all in this forecast, which means we're going to deal with a lot of humidity. So if we just look at humidity here, we'll look at the dew points. Going into this week, you'll see we're going to be dealing with high dew points. The drier air tries to build down on Friday, so we get a little bit of a relief Friday and the weekend, but the front still hangs up over the mid-Atlantic, and then we see that return to the humidity again as we get toward into the days of August. And you see another front trying to get through, but again, that big ridge is there just to block everything, unfortunately. So now that we've gone on the long range, we're going to go for the shorter range now. Go to the HRRR. I'm doing that right at dew point already. And wind flow, we'll start with that. So here we go for your Monday. Southwest south winds again. So plenty of humidity. And then Tuesday, we're seeing, again, southwest winds to become easterly. So whatever the case is, it won't get too hot with these wind directions, I don't think. Temperatures won't be dropping much tonight, probably, and then tomorrow we'll see mid-80s. I don't think there'll be enough sunshine for anywhere to hit 90. Probably mid to upper 80s. Cooler on the south shore, of course. And then we'll go to the radar in a moment. It looks like, again, there's some showers moving through overnight. I could tell by looking at that. And then Tuesday looks a lot cooler on this, at least for Long Island it does, which could mean more cloud cover or showers. But we'll take a look at that in a bit. So let's look at Monday, and you can see plenty of cloud cover there that we'll have tomorrow. So let's go and look at the precipitation here. Let's see what this model generates. So tomorrow we're dry for the most part. The precipitation is mainly to the west. We start seeing some slight showers break out in our area overnight. As we get toward midnight, we'll see some showers and maybe a thunderstorm there with a little wave passing through. And then on Tuesday, it looks like it's got a one cell again. There could just be pop-up cells because you still have this humidity in this front in this vicinity. Let's look at the NAM model. Don't have enough of the 0Z NAM 3. We can look at the NAM 18Z here. And you can see there's the NAM 18Z. Similar. They kind of look similar for the most part. Let's see how much rainfall the GFS is calling for, first of all. Through Tuesday. So not too much goes on until Tuesday. It's very scattered. It's when we get into Wednesday that we start seeing some more of it, I think. We'll go to the HRRR. All right, HRRR. You can see it's scattered in nature, so wherever the storms hit, at least it's showing could be 1 to 2 inches perhaps in Suffolk County where it's really needed. Of course, it all depends. It's just a model. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right. But wherever these showers and thunderstorms develop through at least Tuesday night, we could see that amount of rain develop. So let's go to the... I'm going to go to the NAM 12 and see. That goes out a little further. Let's see how much the NAM 12... Okay, so the NAM 12 has a similar idea with most of it, more of it occurring over Suffolk County, which is, again, kind of where it's needed. And right now, it's kind of too early to tell what's going to happen on Wednesday, but we can go ahead and look, and you can see Wednesday is probably going to be the wettest day of the week as far as when you're going to get most of your rain. It'll be Wednesday. It looks like early part of the day, there's one shot right there that's pretty decent. So we'll have to see what happens with that for sure. So obviously, with all these stalled fronts around, I don't think we're going to see too much in the way of sunshine, but I'll go ahead and I'll look at the models here. Well, I'll start with the RGM, and you can see plenty of clouds for tomorrow. You had a lot of cirrus mid-level clouds. Tuesday, there may be some more breaks, perhaps. And then Wednesday, we're back in the clouds. It's going to be a lot of clouds this whole week. If you go look at the GFS, you'll see that as well. So not a whole lot of sun this week. And then as we get to Thursday, still not through yet. And Friday, who knows if we're going to even clear it out on Friday. The GFS is kind of, this front is really just very, very stubborn to try to get to the south because we have the stall front syndrome in effect. We don't have any jet stream to move things around. So things are kind of just stuck where they are because, again, we don't really have a jet stream. Let's just digest that, all right? We barely have a jet stream, all right? So there you go. So Climate Prediction Center will be our next stop. And here we go, 8 to 14 day. Actually, let's go to the 6 to 10 day first. And you can see, yeah, we're going to be above normal. So they think we're going to see some more heat. And unfortunately, they're probably right. And precipitation, they have a little bit below normal, believe it or not. I think it's mainly going to be in the south that we're going to see above normal precipitation. And then we go to the 8 to 14 day, and much of the country above normal. And above normal precipitation, slight chances of above normal precipitation, except in a few locations, probably because, again, we're going to have all that humidity around, which is going to make it worse. And we can go back to the GFS model and just go and take a look at the GFS and just see what our temperatures are going to be as we head into. Do we see any potential heat waves developing here on the GFS? Now this, yep, there we go. As we get into August, that's when it starts. August has not, and some of the other runs had it even hotter. This run does not have it as hot. I think it was the 12Z run that, you can see there's a lot of variability. I was looking at the 0Z run last night, and this is the 0Z run of the HRRR of the GFS, and you can see, just look at that, maybe 100 degrees. Hopefully this was wrong, because it's not here now on the 18Z run, but, you know, the models always underestimate the ridge. They kind of scale it back. I think, just caution. We're not done with the crazy heat yet. We're going to see some more heat waves before the summer is over. So let's lastly go to the smoke model here, and we'll go and look at the smoke model and see where the smoke's going to be going. Error. No, I don't want to see that. I need that. Oh, no, that's not good. I need that. I don't know if it's all of them. Really? That's not good. Really? You go down now? I could try the HRRR one. Where is it? Let's see if this one's going to give me an error. This one is working. It's not as good, though. But we'll have to use this one instead. So this is the vertically integrated smoke on the HRRR. Looks like as it lifts out more of our area. It's because of the ridge building and the side. You're actually better off with the air coming from here if you want blue skies versus here, because out of Canada, I mean, look at all the smoke that's pouring down here. That's a lot of smoke. And you can see it's pouring down mainly to the Midwest. And you can see even some purple around here in Oregon and Idaho. You really got some really bad air quality over there. Let's go to the near surface smoke. All right, that's not working. Well, whatever the case is, at least we got some smoke models. It's interesting that it goes down now, of course. Hopefully they'll fix it. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update and outlook. And again, once again, I'm only going to do this 3 times a week. We'll try to, once a week, do the longer range, usually Sundays, and then the other days I'll do shorter weather updates, unless there's something more remarkable going on for our area. But other than that, we just got a lot of smoke going on, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better, because these fires are just continuing to burn out of control, and we're going to see more of that. And it's going to the Midwest, and that's obviously a place where, well, this whole country really, I don't know, if we don't wake up, all right, that's a whole other video. But anyway, yeah, you can see the extent of this smoke on the MODIS here. This is what it is when we live in a warming world. One more thing I want to do. I hate to drag on a little bit, but let's look at the Snow and Ice Data Center and see how things are going on the North Pole, and then I'm going to wrap it up. All right, so we're in the peak of the melt season. July is the warmest month in the Arctic, and at the middle extent is declining at an above-average pace. Sea ice is mostly gone in Hudson Bay, and there has been an extensive retreat in the Barents and Laptev Seas. Satellite data reveal a small area of unusual dense sea ice formed last winter. So let's go and take a look at this here. So yeah, not a whole lot of ice up here. That's always a concern. And here we are, scraping at the bottom again. So could this be the year where we get close to a blue ocean event? Just another sign of the climate crisis that we're in. There are data providers. Another outage. What is going on here with these outages? Really, you have to wonder. Who's behind all this stuff. Somebody probably that likes to say, "Get in my belly," and somebody also who likes to say, "I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back." You know what I'm talking about. So, a little bit of humor in these rather pathetic times we're in. So, have a good night.